Hey, what's up everybody? I'm back to bring you all a new weekly update that I'm going to be putting out every Friday. I'll still be bringing you the typical Adam Eisen show with sports takes, but each Tuesday I'm going to put out a short video quickly recapping all of the past week's NFL action. And as college football heats up, we get into college basketball, the NBA, MLB playoffs, and World Series. We'll be talking about all that. We just wrapped up week 5 of the NFL regular season and plenty happened. Starting on Thursday Night Football, the Denver Broncos versus the Indianapolis Colts. And overall, this could have been one of the most boring games we've seen in the past couple years. The final score in overtime was 12-9. It went into overtime tied 9-9, and then the Colts kicked the field goal to win it. Russell Wilson, there's been this whole thing, let Russ cook, Denver Broncos country, let's ride, all that. Russ is simply not cooking right now. He is being made into a meme online, and the Broncos are now sitting at 2-3 in a stacked AFC West division. The only team who's equally as stacked and worse, same in their division, the Raiders. The Colts now move to 2-1. Like I said, Broncos are 2-3. Going on to the next game of the weekend, the Green Bay Packers versus the New York Giants. This game was played in London. I'm on the East Coast, so that morning, game started at 9:30 a.m. It started great for the Packers. Packers got the ball to start the game, and they went into halftime up 20-10. The Giants came out, got the ball at halftime, got the momentum, and seemed to never lose it. The Giants rattled off 17 straight points against the Packers, and then the Packers, they got a safety, but that was a given safety by the punter to run out clock and give Rodgers less time to throw a eventual Hail Mary that he got sacked on. So the Giants won this game 27-22. The Giants improved to 4-1, and they are one of the 3 teams in the NFC East that are, everybody called it the NFC least for so long, but we are looking at 2 4-1 teams and a 5-0 team. That division is stacked, and the Giants are making a name for themselves this year in a Daniel Jones contract season. Green Bay moves to 3-2. They are still in second place in the NFC North behind the 4-1 Minnesota Vikings. We go to another NFC North team playing an AFC East team. The Detroit Lions traveled to New England, to the New England Patriots. The Patriots pitched a perfect shutout in this game. They won 29-0. The Lions moved to 1-4 on the season and are at the bottom of the NFC North, while the Patriots are 2-3. They sit behind the Dolphins, the Jets, and the Bills. The Chargers at the Browns. This was a close game. It was in Cleveland, but Los Angeles was able to go there and get the win 30-28. Jacoby Brissett and Justin Herbert, the 2 quarterbacks, both threw a touchdown, and Brissett an interception as well. Chargers moved to 3-2 on the season, and Browns are now 2-3. We move to the next game of the season, which is the Houston Texans at the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Texans won this game 13-6. They got their first win of the season. It was a big one, and they needed it. No touchdowns were thrown by QB Davis Mills or Trevor Lawrence, but the former first overall pick out of Clemson threw 2 interceptions in the extremely low-scoring game. Houston is now 1-3-1 on the season, and Jacksonville moves to 2-3, trying to keep hope for themselves alive in the AFC South after seeming they started off the season well, started off 2-1. They've now lost 2 in a row, and Jacksonville is trying to get back to that victory that they just got a brief taste of. The Atlanta Falcons traveled to Tampa Bay this past weekend to play the Bucs. This was another low score. The Bucs barely squeezed this one out against the Falcons, 21-15. Brady threw the ball an astonishing 52 times for 350 yards and only 1 touchdown. The Bucs moved to 3-2, and the Falcons are now 2-3. It was a big in-division game, and while the Falcons are supposed to be the worst team in the NFL, Marcus Mariota and those guys refuse to be written off. These are NFL athletes. They commit too much time to the game to simply say, this is a throwaway season. We are going for draft picks. We want a new QB in here. Marcus Mariota can be that QB, and he is trying to prove it. That's why we see them with 2 wins, and that's why we see them putting up fights against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We move back to the AFC now. The Bills absolutely toasted the Steelers at home, 38-3. Josh Allen, in the first half alone, threw 350 yards. The NFL record, for example, in a game is 558 yards. He threw 350 and a half and 4 touchdowns. 350 and 4 touchdowns alone in the first half. Bills are now sitting 4-1, sitting very comfortably on top of the AFC East. Tua is out, so Miami, the other big competitor there, I know we got the Jets, but I think the Bills are just overall so much better of a team than the Jets. They're way more put together. The Steelers, they fall to 1-4. One bright side that could come out of this game is finally they admitted to themselves they can't waste time with Mitchell Trubisky anymore. They're 1-4. They knew where they were going to lose that game. Kenny Pickett is now QB1 on that depth chart, as he should have been from day one. If you all have been listening to the show, you'll know what I'm talking about, and definitely be sure to tune in this Friday to hear my big Kenny Pickett take. Dolphins at the Jets. This past weekend, the Jets beat them 40-17 in an AFC East battle. They improved to 3-2 on the season, as well as take over second place behind the Bills. Miami is now 3-2 as they wait for the return of Tua. We don't know when that's going to be. Bridgewater got banged up. They had their third string guy in there. They are just hoping they'll get their star QB back sometime this season. The Vikings, in an NFC North battle, beat the Chicago Bears at home 29-22 to improve to 4-1 on the year. They now have sole first place of the NFC North. The Bears fall to 2-3 with Justin Fields completing only 15 passes. Yet again, Justin Fields and the Bears have a huge problem in their passing game. The first 3 weeks of the season, they only completed 23 passes. Plenty of teams are doing that in a single half of football. We were just talking about Josh Allen do it. That is something that needs to be handled before the trade deadline. The Tennessee Titans at the Washington Commanders. The Titans won this game 21-17, but boy was it close. Washington unfortunately fell to 1-4, and that is due to Carson Wentz. Even Ron Rivera said it. Ron Rivera was asked, what is the problem on your team? And he said, quarterback, period. Carson Wentz led them down the field for the game-winning touchdown and threw an interception on the goal line to lose the game. That drops the Washington Commanders down to 1-4. Tennessee Titans, they go to 3-2. The Saints came back against the Seahawks in an epic game. Geno Smith, despite his best efforts, if you have not seen the clips on YouTube, you must go look up Geno Smith highlights. They may have lost 39-32 and are sitting at 2-3 on the season. It doesn't matter. Geno Smith, he had 2 touchdowns, 270 yards. This isn't a gone season for Seattle. Just like Atlanta, just like we all thought Atlanta and Seattle, they were being blatantly bad this year. Geno Smith, he looks like prime Russell Wilson, and Russell Wilson looks like prime Geno Smith. He had some dimes and battled his ass off. 49ers, they beat the Panthers, which led yesterday. Matt Rule got fired, as he should have been. I love the Panthers getting out in front of this. I don't even think he should have been the head coach this season, but to not even let him get week 6, I love that. You can't waste time in this league. They wasted 3 years with him. They went and got Baker Mayfield. There is no reason to postpone this. The 49ers handed them a hard loss, 37-15. Jimmy G was back. They improved to 3-2, and the Panthers sunk to 1-4 and bottom of the division. The Eagles remain the only unbeaten team this past weekend. They improved to 5-0 after winning in an Arizona game that ended 20-17. Arizona had a last-second field goal they could have scored, but they missed it. That would have tied up the game 20-20 and sent it to overtime. The Cardinals, they fall to 2-3. Eagles are 5-0. Like I've been saying, Arizona, it's too damn noisy. They have all this talent. They have the depth. They have the head coach. There's too much noise from the GM to the coach to the quarterback to the wide receivers, everyone on the team. Cooper Rush got his 4th win this season, and not to mention 4th consecutive win this season in LA at the Super Bowl defending champion Rams. The Cowboys, they beat the Rams 22-10 to improve to 4-1. The NFC East is extremely, extremely good. We already talked about it with the Giants, them beating the Packers. LA is 2-3, and I'm standing by this. Tune in to this Friday show to hear why, but my Super Bowl pick is sticking with the Los Angeles Rams. Moving on to Sunday Night Football, Bengals versus Ravens. Ravens narrowly won at home 19-17, an AFC North battle. Baltimore improved to 3-2. Cincinnati went to the Super Bowl and now are sitting at 2-3, just like the defending Super Bowl champions. And Monday Night Football, to end it all off, boy was there controversy, and I feel like it's happening every week with the Monday Night Football games because everybody's tuning in. The Raiders at Chiefs. There was controversy with flags and missed calls and roughing the passer, and then Devontae Adams pushed a guy at the end of it, and we'll dive into all that more later this week. But the Chiefs, they won this AFC West battle 30-29 to improve to 4-1, while the stacked Raiders, with all the improvements they made this offseason, fell to 1-4. That is the end of my weekly recap of the NFL season. I'll be back next Tuesday to give you all another one. Thank you all so much for tuning in to this new style of video I'm trying out. Be on the lookout for the full entire show this Friday. Until then, peace.